The rest of my Sephora stuff is here, so I want to share with you the other items I picked up during the sale. I believe when I'm uploading this, it is the last day of the sale, so it's still technically going on. But along with sharing some new stuff, I thought I would give you guys kind of an update on my top 5 best purchases, the things I'm really excited about, and also let you know about 5 potential regrets. Just because I've been using this stuff a little bit, I definitely have some thoughts, and I feel like there are some clear winners and some things at this point that I wouldn't recommend. And if you're gonna do a last minute order, maybe don't put those in your cart, okay? Anyway, for new stuff, I forgot to put this in the last haul video, which if you haven't seen part 1 of this video, I will leave it down below. But I did end up picking up the Way leave-in conditioner. This is in the St. Bart scent, so that is the main pull of why I wanted this. I love the St. Bart scent. Oh, it's like a tropical getaway. It's kind of fruity, a little bit floral. It's just so good, creamy as well. I've been using this, and I will say I feel like the consistency of this is a little bit thinner than I remember the other leave-in conditioner to be. Let me know if you agree with it, if you've tried both. But I do feel like it's working fine. Like, I don't have any issues actually using it. I just noticed it was like waterier, more watery. Anyway, the scent is the same. The scent is magnificent. I actually really love it. I feel like it's decently strong as well, and I think it's just another potential layering piece. If you like to layer your scents, you really could do like a full body, full on St. Bart scent if you wanted to. Okay, I'm gonna get this one out of the way pretty immediately because some of you guys are gonna be like, oh my gosh, and I know, because I did. I picked this up from Charlotte Tilbury. I made a video talking about makeup, basically like I'm not gonna buy, or, you know, I'm thinking I'm not gonna buy. And this one, I was like, we'll see. We'll see if they swatch good in person. And I have to say, the swatches in person looked good enough that I kind of had this on my list to get during the Sephora sale, but when I was in store, they were sold out, so I had to order it online. Anyway, this is the Charlotte's Palette of Beautifying Eye Trends. What are these names? What does that even mean? But this is in super neutral, and it is the cooler toned one. She does have a more warm toned neutral palette, but I decided to go with the cool tone. There are 3 like shimmer sparkly shades in here. The rest of the 6 are matte, and I used this today. Kind of hard to see, I know, I'm in a baseball cap. I was out. I feel like I even got a little bit of sun, so hopefully I'm looking okay, because I have been in this makeup enjoying a beautiful Sunday, to be honest. It's been a great day. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is it's on my eyes right now, and I used this shade here. This is one of the more sparkly, kind of sheer wet bases. The middle shade has a lot of sparkle as well, but more base pigment on it. And then the top one is kind of an icy, wet look shadow. Like this one, I feel like we've seen a lot, but I just thought this was a pretty palette, actually. Granted, for the price of this is like $60. Again, I got it 20% off with the sale. Now, the main shimmers in here are pretty, do not get me wrong. And I even can see this being a staple for someone for sure, just because of the tones in here. If you want something cooler tone and you mostly do a matte look but want a sparkle every now and then, I think again it could be nice. But the packaging, I think they could have done something a little nicer, maybe something with a mirror. I think that would have been nice. Just, you know, the see-through acrylic top, I do feel like cheapens it a bit. But the shadows are nice quality if it was like the one you were looking at, but there are so many other sparkly shades if you're just looking for those. I do find these two to be kind of similar to the Patrick Todd duos, so like if you wanted something, I guess this could work. But I will say I can't tell if these have like glitter particles in them, like very fine glitter instead of just like mica flecks, because it does feel slightly heavier, but it gives a very similar wet shine, high shine, transparent base sparkle. So I'm for sure gonna keep using it and getting accustomed to the matte. To me though, a pretty color palette. I do think there's a lot of useful shades in here, and it is quite compact for 9 shadows. That being said though, I did get the other Prada quad in the mail, so now I have 2 of these freaking Prada quads, okay? This is the 08 one, and this is the 07 one. So this is the lightest one, this is the middle one, and then I didn't pick up the dark one. I didn't even expect to necessarily pick up both of these, but in some ways I'm kind of glad. I really love the holographic, okay, it's a duochrome, let's get real. I think this one's really, really pretty. It is a little more on the subtle side, especially if you love like indie shadows. This doesn't have a ton of chunky sparkle to it, but it gives a really nice soft sheen to the lids that has that fun duochrome like flair to it. I really love it. If you're like a neutral girly but you want something a little bit fun, I feel like that's what this gives. So I love that shade in it, and I also like this dark brown. Even this mauve is really pretty, but really this is is the issue, right? My actual perfect quad is if these two had a baby, okay? I wish I could take the two shades here, this duochrome and the darker brown, and then combine them with this shade. So pretty. I've been loving that all over my lids. It's like a matte with a satin sheen, which then doesn't really make it a matte, kind of makes it a satin, but I feel like it still really performs as a matte in a lot of ways as well. So just this on my lids has been so pretty. I've done that look quite a few times already since I've got this stuff, and I really, really love it. And the formula of these shadows, it is more of like a creamy powder. I think it just blends out really nice. It sits really nice on the lids as well. I do feel like a lot of luxury eyeshadows tend to have formulas that I think really look good on a wide variety of eyelids. Like they tend to be flattering if you have more hooded eyes like I do, or if you have maybe some loose skin or crepiness on your eyelids. I find a lot of the times the luxury formulas really blend nicely just overall for everyone. Anyway, I would put that in and I would put this one in, and then that would be my perfect little Prada quad. I wish I could do it because even though these are pricey as well, if I could have all 4 of those shades, I feel like it would be so worth it. Whereas having to get 4 of those shades with 2 palettes, like 2 purchases, I'm like, okay, that's kind of a lot, but you know, I have them now, so I'll keep using them. I have been enjoying them though, at least certain shades out of these. So I think this is one really making sure you like all the colors, or as many colors as you possibly can, to get the best bang for your buck, obviously. So that would be my suggestion. But if I had to buy just one, oh, it's so hard, but I think the middle one is more worth it. You can find other transition shades, even though I'm telling you that shade's gonna like live on my lids. I did pick up another mascara. This one is a tubing mascara, so I was excited to try it. It's from Kulfi, which is a brand I'm always kind of on the lookout for, and I also thought it was interesting because the wand is very similar to the Too Faced one. Like, I'm pretty sure it's the same wand. Now, I will say the Too Faced one is also tubing. I have it here. I want to put them out, but I have worn the Kulfi one a few times, and I don't know if you can see, they're very similar. They're technically, I guess, not the same. I don't know, but they almost need to, again, meet in the middle, okay? Because the Too Faced one, I feel like, has a lot of product on the wand, and so it just creates a very gloopy lash very immediately, and that can kind of be a lot. Like, that's a lot. My experience with the Kulfi so far is that it actually doesn't have too much product on the wand, so I can really get in there, but if anything, it's a little bit drier and a little bit harder to get it onto my lashes in a way that then doesn't have it kind of drying as I'm putting it on and creating kind of rough texture, maybe a few dingleberries here and there type of thing. Like, I have to really get in there and brush those out, and it's just a little fussy so far. So I don't know, maybe I'm being too harsh. Like I mentioned in the last video, I like to take my time with mascara and really get to know them a little bit before I make too harsh of judgments, because I've definitely had times where maybe I didn't love it initially, but as I keep using it, I like it more and more. So I will keep you updated on this, but this does come off in little tubes, kind of like the Cali Ray one for me, so I'm happy about that. Again, this Too Faced one, I cannot get it to come off in tubes, okay? It just smudges off. It is not, to me, a tubing mascara. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know why it doesn't work for me. I almost feel like I'm doing something wrong because it's marketed as a tubing mascara, but I don't get that happening. I thought I would update you guys on a perfume here. I have a whole fragrance channel if you guys don't know, so I'm sorry for everyone over there, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get any thoughts up before the sale's over, and in case you're on both, then you can know. But I ordered Ellis Brooklyn's Guava Granita, and I have to say, first off, immediately, this bottle feels heavier than the other bottles I have. They've changed the caps. They're more weighted now, which I just think is such a nice touch. On top of that, they've also changed the logo on the cap. So this one is just kind of printed on. This one is like texturally like embedded in, which is just a nice luxury touch. On top of all that, the sprayer has also been improved. Look at that. So much nicer. This is Miami Nectar from last year. Yikes, 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 yikes. So anyway, just wanted to mention those little upgrades because I do appreciate them, and perfume prices just keep going up, and I at least appreciate that there are some actual improvements to this instead of like downgrades. Usually that's what you get. Anyway, what does Guava Granita even smell like? Girl, I know, I'm sorry. I was intrigued by this because it is their summer launch and it's a guava fragrance, as the name would suggest. But another big note I was excited for is the banana note in here, and I feel like banana is just a fun note. You're either gonna kind of love banana or hate it. Like, banana banana is not going to be for everyone. And I do smell the banana in here, but it is definitely not overdone. There's also a coconut note in here, a melon note. I don't know if I pick up on melon exactly. Maybe I do, but I'm glad I don't pick up on more melon. I'll say that. There are some creamy facets to this though. There's vanilla and almond milk, and you definitely pick that up. And I feel like they combine with some of the florals that are in here. If we're not gonna get too technical with it, it does smell like a creamy coconut, tropical, white floral, kind of sunscreen vanilla thing, okay? The first thing I thought when I sprayed it was that. As I've gone back to this, I feel like I'm picking up again more of those different facets, really getting acquainted with the difference in this one, but it very squarely to me falls into that category of like Alien Goddess, Viktor and Rolf Flower Bomb Tiger Lily. I don't know, any of those types of scents, so just keep that in mind. Like you've smelled something like that before, this is their version of that fragrance. I kind of was hoping for something a little bit different. A blush, bronzer, and highlighter that I picked up. Now, if you watched my initial haul, then you know I already had quite a few bronzers, but I could not resist the Sarah Creel one. It came out during the sale, so I picked it up when they launched it. This is a cream bronzer. I picked up the lightest shade 01, and this is a cream. It's actually quite thin, and it almost feels like slippy in the pan, but as you blend it out, it definitely is pretty transparent. Like you can really blend it out. Very, very thin though on the skin. Like I don't feel like there's much product actually on my hand once it's blended out. I've been using this since I got it, and I do quite like it. This is definitely like a bronzer. It warms up my skin. It has a warm tone, at least on my skin tone, but I do love the packaging, and so far I'm really impressed. I am excited to continue to use this. That's all I'll say for now, because we're gonna get into the top 5, bottom 5, but so far really loving it. This highlighter from Dior sucked me in. This is definitely something that just like swatching in person, I swear the lights in these stores are like, well, sometimes it's the shittiest lighting you've ever seen, but other times it is like perfect lighting to really make everything sparkle and shine in a way you have never seen before. Anyway, that's kind of how I felt about this highlighter from Dior, and maybe just the fact that it's like new. I swear they have repackaged their highlighters more than any brand. The highlighters over the years, it is insane. But I picked up Gold Halo, which, you know, I don't know if I wasn't in person if I would have thought this was the one I would get. Like online, I think I would have maybe tried something else, but I felt like this was the most kind of like champagne, but not too icy, but not necessarily pink highlighter that they had in the range. And this almost feels like a callback to an older formula to me. Like the way that the shimmer is, it's not overly sparkly. There are no like little sparkles in here, which I will say in store, it seemed like there was a little bit more of that going on, but I found at my house that's not quite the case. Anyway, it is pretty, don't get me wrong. Needed, definitely not, definitely not. Okay, one of the most anticipated things from my haul, like overall that I was excited for from Bobbi Brown, this is the Pot Rouge Velvet Matte. I really like the original Pot Rouge formula, which is totally different than this one, let me tell you. I was expecting kind of a mousse, but this one is so, like, I can pick up, so it's very like a loose, airy, whipped mousse, but more wet than I kind of expected. I really did expect it to be more putty, but this is moussey, okay? Beautiful nonetheless. I got the shade Tea Rose, I believe, and you can see here, it blends out, it gives you that soft matte look. The pigmentation is not too much. I mean, that was like a chunk and it blended out to almost nothing, and that's one of the things with this. I mean, maybe a different color would be better for me for more pigment, but I am surprised that there isn't a little bit more pigment and it's not a little bit harder. I find when I dip my brush into this, it almost gets a little wet, even though this is like silicone-y and it doesn't feel wet quite like that. But nonetheless, a lot of product actually gets into the brush, but then blending it out, it doesn't add that much color and it feels like a little bit of product kind of on my cheeks. I mean, again, it's comfortable, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, just different than I was expecting for sure on this one. Like I really thought this was gonna be a slam dunk. I could have like bet on that before I got it, but it's different. It's different than I thought. And last thing for new items in the haul, I did pick up 2 more of the Violette FR Bisou Balms. I just really love these and I was just so tempted by some more colors. So the new colors I got Mon Cheri, which is like a brown red. That is what I'm wearing on my lips right now. So I just think these are so effortless and easy. They look so beautiful and blurred. They don't really sit like product on my lips. They're a little bit drying, I will say that, but I just feel like for me, and to be honest, how easy I really want my lips to be, these are just so nice. The other color is called Calisson, and this is one of the more neutral shades, so very, very chill. And I just love them so much. I thought I would get a few more colors. I will swatch the other ones I have too. I feel like a lot of these colors are sold out, but I even think like if you're just gonna get one, like your favorite color, they would still be worth full price. I will put the name on the screen because it's Bonbon. Okay. And then last here, this one is a little more berry. Okay, they look so similar. You're probably like, bitch, what? The slightly more pink one and kind of berry one is called Bêtise. I just love these. I think they're so pretty. I'm excited to have them for spring and summer. I mean, we're basically getting into summer now, but oh, so pretty. Now that I've updated you with everything I got at the Sephora sale, I thought I would give you some quick thoughts on 5 items I'm really excited about that I don't think were a waste of money, that, you know, really are gonna fit into my routine and I'm feeling really good about, and then 5 products that I'm kind of like, I don't know yet. We'll still test, but I don't think these are gonna work for me. We'll start with the negative so we can leave it off on a positive note. As much as I think this thing is pretty, okay, I still almost am not 100% convinced. It's like one of those things where I'm like, I'm excited to test it, but definitely in the sense that like YouTube's my job and testing makeup's my job. I'm interested to see how this will go. You know what I mean? Like this could have been one if I could have just let it go. It might have been okay. Sometimes you just have to know personally, and to be honest, it's those freaking shimmers. The shimmers got me, guys. But to be honest, I just think like I would rather use my Patrick Ta duos, use mattes that I have, and I'm really liking those Prada quads more. So I feel like between stuff I just already have, I could definitely get the look I have in here. This feels more like best for if you want one and done, don't have all those other things, but I do. So I don't know if me picking this up should be anything telling you to maybe get it. I don't know. If you saw the other haul video, then you might have seen this one coming, but the Laura Mercier bronzer duo, I'm worried that I'm really not gonna like this one. I like this sheer side that also has a little bit of shimmer to it. I like that more than the matte side. They have different opacities, which kind of makes it weird to like blend them on the face. Like on the brush and stuff, I just don't feel like I'm getting even application. Like that's just like a technical thing on top of just color. And I don't know, maybe being more tan for summer will change my mind. Maybe I can take more pigment on my face, but I would have preferred just this. Like I think if it was just the shimmery side, I could get on with it so much. Like it would maybe even be in a whole different category for me. And don't get me wrong, I was excited for the duo of it. I was excited to have both options, but you know, these slivers, it's not like you can get your full brush in if you wanted to use them separate like that. I don't know. My high hopes on this have definitely been a little dashed. Okay, this one you could probably hear in my tone of voice. This is one I know, just packaging and the fact that it's a highlighter got me. I mean, it's stunning. It's beautiful. It really is, okay? It really freaking is. I really do love a highlighter. There was a time where I was just wishing more brands would come out with highlighters, and it's so freaking funny, but I really don't wear highlighter nearly as much as I used to. Honestly, it's not really been a part of my routine this whole year. 2025 calendar year, highlighter's not really been around, and so I just feel like maybe I shouldn't have been sucked into how beautiful this packaging is and the pressing of it and all of that. I mean, the collector in me is like, ooh, add this pretty powder, but for actual use, I just don't know if it's quite right for me. But I don't know if any highlighter would, so it's not necessarily against this one. It might be something that's really pretty to look at. I've been trying a lot of mascaras lately, but the one that I think so far I'm liking the least is the Gucci one. It's just pretty gloopy. Like the times I've used it, it's a little bit hard for it to get on my lashes in a way that I like the actual look afterward. And I've also used the other mascara that Gucci has, and I've really enjoyed that one. I had it in a full size. I like that one, so I just feel like maybe that's the one for me as opposed to this one. So out of all the mascaras, this is the one I recommend the least. And last, this one's kind of trendy. I think that's why. Like, it's so fun. It's so cute. I'm glad to have tried it, but if I'm thinking of recommending to you guys, I don't know if this is on my list unless you get maybe one without the color. The Miss Jellyfish shade is beautiful, and if you love an iridescent, I think you would really like this. The formula seems really nice, and when I'm thinking of all my lip products, like I want to use the Merit lip liners. That's like all I've been using. The Bisou balms, other lip balms that I have in my collection, other lip liners that I've really loved. Like I am a creature of habit, and although this one is really fun and I'm glad to have tested it out. I don't know if this is in like my long-term loves in my travel makeup bag. And with these bottom 5 products, I wanted to really let you guys know what I maybe wouldn't have picked up again, or if I didn't make beauty content, like I don't know if these would really have as much of a place as other things in my collection. That being said, let's leave it on a positive note with the 5 things that I think I'm most excited for and have like high hopes for, even if I haven't completely finished testing them. And for sure, one of those is the CeraCreal bronzer. I like the CeraCreal stuff so far. I've enjoyed the concealer. There's just a nice attention to detail that feels like niche and luxury at Sephora, which I've just been enjoying that vibe. And I love a cream bronzer. It's small and compact still. I don't know. I am just excited to continue trying this. I've been continuing to use the Hourglass skin tint that I got. This is in the shade 3 and I have really been loving it. It is a little more glowy than I initially thought when I first was using it. I feel like one of the reasons I've been doing less first impressions is because I've been having so many experiences lately that I'll use a product and either not like it or love it, and then I feel like 3 wears later, I feel like I'm doing basically everything the same and I'm just getting different results. So I really like having a lot of time off camera in real life to really test products. That being said, I'm wearing this today. I've been wearing it since I got it and I do quite like this skin tint. I'm glad I picked it up. I feel like the shade's nice for me. The texture is really nice. I think at this point I prefer the brush. Actually, I thought I liked the sponge, but I feel like with a brush I just get a little less glow and also a little bit more coverage, but so far it's still really beautiful. Really glad I picked it up and I'm getting my thoughts on this formula from Hourglass. Next, I put the Rare Beauty blush on here because this is something that I wanted to try, I wanted to get thoughts on, but I honestly didn't think I'd love it as much as I do. And when I think of how excited I was for this Bobbi Brown color, which I mean, look at these, I'll swatch them next to each other, I'm shocked that I almost like the Rare Beauty one more. Again, putty, velvet matte, blurred texture, that is very much the trend. And I do think I prefer that formula in a cream than in a powder. We've been seeing tons of powders lately that also give that blurred, like powdered effect, but you can see the difference in pigmentation here. And I like that I can kind of control the Rare Beauty one a little bit more, even though there's more pigmentation. I just don't need as much product on my cheeks. And so to be honest, I'm kind of shocked that I'm picking the Rare Beauty blush over the Bobbi Brown. I thought for sure this was gonna be it. Okay, kind of a weird one because I haven't used it yet, but the one that I did use that inspired me to get another one of these, I just love the experience so much that I had to put the Dr. Jart Cryo Rubber Soothing Mask in my top 5. I know, I'm like, this is just one of the things that I'm excited to use. I'll probably honestly use up pretty soon, probably in the next week or so. It's just such a nice treat. It's something I know is actually gonna get used, that I'm actually gonna enjoy the experience of. Even though this is a pricey sheet mask, I am so excited to use this. And last, for the proper top 5, I am so glad I picked up the K18 Air Wash Dry Shampoo. Such a different product and I have been really enjoying it so far. You shake this up, it's a liquid, you spray it on, and as it dries, the powder, you know, becomes like a dry shampoo. I'm just glad I'm actually enjoying it as much as I was hoping I would, considering it's a little bit different. I will say some of you guys have mentioned that the sprayer can get clogged, and I was already kind of thinking that, considering the fact that the powder is being sprayed out, and just thinking about other products that have maybe a similar thing. So I'll keep you updated if that's an issue for me. It's something I'm like potentially anticipating and still have my fingers crossed that it doesn't happen, but I'll let you know. But you know, of course, I love the Bisou Balms. These were in my guide though. These were in my Sephora guide, so I didn't want to put them in the top 5. But as a bonus, I did want to mention my favorite perfume I picked up. Again, I have a haul on the fragrance channel of all the different perfumes that I bought, and I have to give it to Whipped Cherry. If you're looking for just a yummy, sweet cherry Jolly Rancher, but kind of like showery, creamy, this is literally so good. It also has pineapple in it, but it's not overly fruity or tropical or tangy, and I really love that about it. The whipped cream is definitely in there, and it reminds me a lot of Cloud, but to me, I'm like liking this so much more actually. I'm just really glad I picked this one up in the full bottle, and really unexpected. Like, I've tried a lot of the new clean reserve scents that have come out and none of them have hit, but then Whipped Cherry, I almost passed up Whipped Cherry because cherry can be so hit or miss for me, but something about Whipped Cherry is so good. Highly recommend checking this one out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope any of my thoughts were helpful also. I feel like it was a bit more casual, but I wanted to make sure this got up before the end of the sale, just in case any of these things were on your list and you wanted to save some money before the sale was over. I will have everything linked down below. I'll also have it linked with YouTube shopping if you're interested, but I'd love to know, do you have any products that you're really excited about, that you've really been enjoying, that you picked up during the sale? Maybe some summer pick. I feel like that was a big inspiration for me with all these freaking bronzers in here. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.